Weather Service 951 says confirmed large and extremely dangerous tornado was located over Forest Heights or near Mauriceville, moving northeast at about 30. So they just put that out again. Once again, the same area we were just talking about, right over the northeastern corner of Orange County. Confirmed tornado, possibly on the ground, northeastern corner of Orange County, getting ready to probably move up into the southern corner there of Newton County over the next few minutes or so. So you need to be taking cover at this point across parts of Orange and Newton counties.
Now we do have video coming up here in just a bit of this tornado. This is in Orange. Here you go, Jeff. This is the Orange County of a tornado shot by it's like David Ingram, and there you see it right there. You see the debris out there flying around.
Yeah, tornado on the ground right there. This was shot what time?
This is at he sent it up about 9:30. Now it's about 9:30ish.
Wow.
Oh, that's a good.
Wow. This is why we're telling you to take cover right now in parts of Orange counties. Amazing video.
Man.
And right now, that same storm is working its way up towards the southern edge of Newton County. You can, if you can put me up on the screen here, please, and I can show you exactly where we're looking at right now. Right here, this is where we're seeing the rotation. This is Newton County line right here. This is the rotation, of course, Mauriceville there. So this thing is moving right up into southern parts of Newton County. You need to take cover. What you just saw there in that video could be headed in your direction. So please take cover, interior room away from the windows as this thing's moving pretty quickly off towards the north and east. That was incredible video there over in Orange. Definitely a confirmed tornado on the ground.
Yes, and looks like looking at pictures right now. See if we can pull them up on the screen here in just a bit. But looks like a lot of damage to a looks like maybe a four-wheeler, and you know, we've seen flooding on side streets, flooding on the road. We've seen some accidents on the streets. Again, if you don't have to go out, please turn around, don't drown, and just use caution, use common sense, especially in this situation there. And stay at home. Be sure to we'll stay on the air until this warning expires.
Yeah,
and there it is again. The video of that tornado just a while ago. This is in Orange, north of I-10 in Orange County, right here. And as you see the debris, and when it comes closer to the highway, is where it really starts to form right here. And this is an amazing video right here.
Okay, here's from the Weather Service. At 9:54, a confirmed large and extremely dangerous tornado was located over Hartburg or near Deweyville, moving northeast at 30. Hartburg, Deweyville, moving northeast at 30. Take cover now if you live in Deweyville, if you live in Hartburg, that southeastern corner of Newton County. You just saw the video. That's what's headed your direction. Take cover now. Please get into interior room away from the outside windows as this thing moves right over parts of southeastern Newton County.
Yes, shelter in place, please. Shelter in place. Get into an interior room, lowest floor of a sturdy building. If you're outdoors in a mobile home, maybe in your car, move to the closest shelter. Protect yourself from flying debris. Get underneath an overpass, something to block the wind, and be safe.
And here is, once again, velocity on the radar, and it is almost right over top of Hartburg there. You can see right in here, that's rotation. So it has entered southern parts of Newton County and will continue to move right across the extreme southeastern corner of Newton County. If you're in Deweyville, it looks like this is sliding right up in your direction. So take cover if you're in Deweyville. Make sure you're in a substantial structure. If you're not, you have a quick minute to maybe get somewhere where it's maybe a little bit more substantial. But this is sliding right up towards the Deweyville area, right across southeastern corner here of Newton County. So take cover now. Get away from those outside windows. You just saw the video. This tornado is causing damage as it moves through parts of southeast Texas for this morning. So definitely you need to stay inside, get away from those outside windows as this moves up through the Hartburg area right now, moving up towards Deweyville.
All right, let's take a video. We're going to see something. A side-by-side actually got picked up and thrown right here next to our coworker David Ingram's house right here. This is from the tornado right here. You see that?
Yeah.
amazing. And there's another shot at the tornado just about 20 minutes ago, 25 minutes ago, that touched down north of I-10 in Orange County. Again, and like Jeff was mentioning, Deweyville's coming your way. Please take shelter.
Yeah, do not go outside and try to find it or see where it is. Take pictures of it, video of it. Get into your interior room away from the windows. Look at this thing tearing up, literally tearing up parts of southeast Texas here. Once again, that's what's headed up towards your location, so you need to find a safe place to be. This is a very violent tornado. Usually you don't see tornadoes that violent here in southeast Texas. That looks awful scary. So go back to radar here. Once again, pretty close to Hartburg. You can see the radar right here showing some rotation. This is where it is. It's moving up towards Deweyville. So please get into a safe place right now as this tornado is headed in your direction very quickly.
I'm trying to see if there's any more school closures or anything like that, shelter in place, especially in Deweyville. You would assume Deweyville, maybe the LCM, Vidor. I know Vidor ISD was earlier, Nederland ISD was earlier. All campuses were shut down.
From the Weather Service right now, they said 9:57, a confirmed large and extremely dangerous tornado was located over Hartsburg or Deweyville. It continues to move off to the northeast at about 30 miles per hour. South side of Deweyville, seeing a spotter 3 miles southwest of Deweyville. Spotter is seeing a tornado on the ground right now. Southwest, 3 miles southwest of Deweyville.
Oh, wow.
This is the same one that was right around the orange area, so it's tracking in your direction. Let me see if I can put the velocity on here again, and once again, you can see on the scope here, it is just to the south and west of Deweyville.
See that purple?
Yeah. Well, it's not the purple. It's actually this brighter area right here.
Okay.
You see, you got winds coming and going to the radar, and then you see this little brighter area. That's where you're seeing the rotation right here north of Hartburg, and that is sliding right up into the Deweyville area. So you need to be taking cover if you're in Deweyville right now. This thing is looks like it's going to be sliding right over top of Deweyville here in the next few minutes. So please don't go outside and try to find this thing or take pictures. Go into an interior room away from those windows. This is a very violent tornado. You just saw the video of the tornado tearing things up over into around the orange area. So please take cover if you're in Deweyville right now.
All right, we're going to take a look at a side-by here of the tornado that was just touched down about, a half an hour ago. And there on the right is a side-by-side. That is the damage from the tornado. It got picked up and kind of thrown right there. And again, this is what Jeff has been preaching about just pretty much the last 30 minutes. Get shelter in place, be safe.
And
it's amazing video
once again,
right there.
and especially right here in the last, right here, where it really starts to, like I said, it's a very violent tornado. We usually don't see tornadoes this strong in southeast Texas, and this thing is just tearing things up. Is that I-10 right there in the foreground?
That's I-10 right there.
That's I-10, yeah. So
that's something you see like in the Midwest.
Oh, I-10 in orange, so it went right over I-10. 62 and I-10 is where this is. So, yeah, right there.
And it's something we don't see this too often at all. You see this in Oklahoma City, around there, but something like this.
Yeah, and once again, go back to the radar real quick. Man, that's amazing. You can see right near the Deweyville area we're still seeing a little bit of rotation there. Probably not as strong as we saw just a little bit earlier, but still, you've got to be in your safe place in Deweyville right now. Get inside. Don't try to go outside and see if you can see something. Get inside and let this storm pass. It's going to probably be another, say, 15, 20 minutes, but let this thing go by. It's going to the north at about 30 miles an hour. Definitely tornado, a large tornado with this particular storm that's tearing up parts of southeast Texas this morning. Yeah, and of course, Highway 62, Interstate 10, a lot of power outages right now. Entergy is confirming. Throughout 62, 1078. See, what else do we have? 1130 all the way on Lemonville Road and off of South Hill Road. A lot of power outages going on right now, especially in that area, especially Mauriceville, where you see this tornado that came across Highway 62.
just about a little over a half an hour ago. And of course, heavy rainfall was this morning in Mid-County, Port Acres, Port Arthur. We have some power outages reported down there in Mid-County, Beaumont, and that end. And of course, we talked about Vidor, Pine Forest.
I'm trying to see latest from the Weather Service. They're still saying large tornado coming into the south side of Deweyville. This was at 9:58, so just a few minutes ago. Tornado doing some damage along Highway 87. Storm Chaser reported that. So yeah, that's what we've been seeing the video of. And right now the rotation doesn't look quite as strong around the Deweyville area, but still spotters are seeing something on the ground. Here we go, 10:03, observed tornado damage. Confirmed large extreme dangerous tornado was located over Deweyville, moving northeast at 25 miles per hour. So over Deweyville now, moving towards the northeast at 25. And hard to see on the radar there on the rotation, but on the vorticity, but it is still over the Deweyville area, and it is moving off towards the northeast at about 25 miles an hour. If we just look at the plane radar, it's hard to see anything. It just looks like some heavy rain, and then we'll put the vorticity on there, and you can still see some vorticity there around the Deweyville area as it moves off towards the north and east. And it's hard to see to just a layman's eye, but what you're looking for here is some kind of these brighter areas on the radar. And you can see right around the Deweyville area here, the radar scope is a little bit lighter here. We're seeing the winds kind of coming and going from the radar site. So we're looking at a possibility of a tornado right now over the top of Deweyville, causing a lot of problems. And you need to take cover if you're in the Deweyville area. Don't be looking out the windows. Go into an interior room. Get away from those windows as this thing is getting ready to slide over into parts of, looks like southwest Louisiana here fairly quickly.
And Orangefield ISD, they did go into shelter in place out of abundance of caution earlier due to that tornado warning. They were in shelter in place for about 15 minutes, and then they now have returned to normal operations. This is from their Facebook page here, and they will continue to monitor the weather the remainder of the school days. So they did go to the shelter in place for about 15 minutes. Now they are back to normal operations.
And right now that tornado warning goes still until about 10:45. Take a look at just a radar across the area, general radar, and you can see that we still have more rain to get through this morning. Still have that line of thunderstorms out ahead of the cold front itself, still back off towards our west. Just now starting to come into parts of Tyler County, Hardin County, like we were thinking earlier this morning. We thought it'd come in around 10 o'clock till noon, and that's what it's doing. No severe weather in here. There is a little bit of a severe thunderstorm near Anahuac, but as far as tornado warnings, there's nothing right now with this line, so good news there. And then you can see all the lightning associated with that particular storm, with that warning right there near Deweyville as it's starting to move off towards the north and east. So probably another 10-15 minutes or so, and this will be all the way over into parts of southwest Louisiana. So it'll be moving out of southeast Texas. And even though there's some more heavy rain over towards Pine Forest, there is no warning with that particular cell. It's just some heavy rain. But this one over Deweyville continues to move off towards the north and east. If you live on the other side of the river from Deweyville and you're watching this, please take cover now. Interior room away from outside windows as this storm is headed right towards you. This warning once again goes till for another 10 to 15 minutes or so through parts of Calcasieu Parish over there into southwest Louisiana. So still dealing with this one particular cell. This is the one that was started off in Jefferson County down towards the coast, and it's been causing some rotation here and there all the way up through Jefferson County, Orange County, and now southern parts of Newton County. Looks like it's getting ready now to cross the river and head into parts of southwest Louisiana.
Again, if you have to get out, if you need to go to work for some reason, pick up your kids for some reason, remember, traction is low, so it might take a little bit longer for you to brake and to drive in this bad weather. Right now you see this is our storm tracker, and let me see where that's at. Do we know where that's at, guys, in the back? But Kara Willis has been in the storm tracker all morning long. Kara, where are you guys at right now?
Mauriceville.
Hi,
Hi, Nick. Yeah, we're in Mauriceville right now. We were driving to Deweyville, but we're going to make a detour to show you some damage in Orange. We heard from one of our coworkers that there was some damage to one of its neighbors' homes that we want to show you, but the rain is picking up here. Immediately when we started going through this area, it started getting extremely dark, a complete change from what we were seeing a little bit earlier. But that's what we're seeing right now. The streets are still very wet, not as wet as we saw them, but it is starting to pick up in this area. Sending it back to you.
All right, please be safe out there. And we just saw, about 40 minutes ago, a tornado touchdown off of Highway 62. And again, we're talking about different schools going on shelter in place. Nederland and Vidor had a shelter in place earlier. Orangeville ISD, they went into a shelter in place for approximately 15 minutes out of abundance of caution before returning to normal operations right now. Again, we've been seeing flooding on the side roads. We've seen a couple of accidents on the highway. If you don't have to get out, please don't get out. If you do, download our 12 News app. We are live right now on our app and online on TV. There it is right there, the 12 News mobile app. Go to the Near Me tab and you can put send us your videos, send us your pictures of anywhere that you are, and that way we can kind of see it and show the community of where you guys are at. Jeff?
Still watching the radar, still seeing a little bit of rotation, but it's starting to work its way north of Deweyville over into southwest Louisiana on the other side of the river there. But the warning still extended back down just south of Deweyville. I'm sure that's going to be shifting off towards the north and east here fairly quickly as this storm, I think, is just now starting to push over into parts of southwest Louisiana. But still, you saw the video that we had earlier. Tornadoes on the ground throughout parts of southeast Texas this morning. Jefferson County, Orange County, this one cell has been rotating throughout the morning. And at first we thought just generally some Doppler radar indicated tornado, but then it reached the ground. It did actually make it down into parts of southeast Texas. So hopefully we had no injuries. Now we did have one injury earlier, Nick, from a guard in a guard shack or something like that.
That was a guard at a guard shack in Port Arthur. That the guard shack flipped over due to the storm. Due to the storm, it flipped over, and the guard was actually in there. We saw live TV that she was in a stretcher, but luckily that it looked like hopefully she was okay.
Well, that's good. Yeah,
that's good news.
Hopefully
right there.
That's the only injury we're going to see across the area. Now, here is Weather Service just updating. They're saying tornado warning continues for Newton County until 10:45. Severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado is located over Deweyville, now moving northeast of 20. So it went from confirmed tornado to now one capable of producing a tornado. So it is weakened enough that they don't think it's producing a tornado, but still showing some rotation and still moving off towards the northeast at about 20 miles per hour. So once again, they're updating the map, taking off one warning, putting on the other, as it looks like that one particular cell is now finally starting to move over away from Deweyville, moving northeast to Deweyville, over into parts of southwest Louisiana where folks need to be taking cover. This storm has been producing or been rotating pretty much since it came off the Gulf of Mexico, and wouldn't be surprised if it continues to do that as it moves up into southwest Louisiana. So you folks on the other side of the state line, please take cover if you live in northern parts of Calcasieu Parish, especially the northwestern corner of Calcasieu Parish as this storm moves up in your direction.
As you saw right there on TV just a second ago, a time lapse of our Roofing 911 Skycam in Beaumont here. That's kind of overlooking the interstate, and you got got Parkdale Mall kind of to the right-hand side there. It's been a kind of a wild morning. Here is a shot of downtown Port Arthur by the seawall, Lamar State College, Port Arthur, at the Carl Parker Center, where they got hit pretty hard this morning. Very cloudy out there. It looks like Port Arthur is pretty much done with all that rain. Is that correct to say?
They are done. They're done with that particular thunderstorm that was over them earlier. They're not done with the rain, as
not
you can
yet.
you can see right now. Hold on a second. Port Arthur's seeing a dry spot right now, but here comes this line out ahead of the cold front itself. Luckily, there's not too much severe weather with the line. There's some severe weather down towards Galveston Bay. They have a severe thunderstorm there, but the line is weakened quite a bit from where it was earlier for this morning. and it looks like as it comes through, we're still going to see some heavy rain with that, maybe some lightning. But as far as maybe what we were seeing earlier with the severe weather, I don't think we're going to be seeing as much as we did earlier when this was back over towards Conroe and Houston, when we had some tornado warnings. But still got to watch this line as it moves through. You can see heavy rain right now in Woodville, coming down through western sections of Hardin County, and then down towards Galveston Bay. So this will be tracking into Jefferson County here fairly shortly. And then some very heavy rains right now between, say, Lumberton and Beaumont up into parts of southern Newton County. Still have that warning up around Deweyville till 10:45 or 10:15, but that should be moving out fairly quickly here. So that should be dropping, I think, fairly quickly. Right now, a little bit of a break here around most of the triangle, but we're going to watch this cold front come in here over the next hour or two and drop still some more heavy rain, and would not be surprised to see maybe severe thunderstorm warning, or even still an isolated quick spin up of a tornado come through with this line. So we're going to be watching it closely. We might get rid of the warnings for a little bit of a time, but definitely going to be watching for maybe some more warnings to pop up over the next couple of hours.
I'm looking at Twitter right now. There's a gentleman that they're at Total Refinery off of Nature's River off of Highway 73, and he's got a picture. I'm going to send it over here a little bit of that would look like a possible tornado looked like a possible tornado out there. But as Jeff's been saying, you know, just take shelter, be careful, be safe, turn around, don't drown. And we've seen a lot of water, standing water, especially on the feeder roads in Beaumont, Mid-County. Friends of mine that have been texting with throughout the show here saying they've seen a lot of water out there. Some places are not flooded at all, others are. A lot of power outages, Pine Forest, Mauriceville, Vidor area, Mid-County, North Beaumont. So that's what they're dealing with right now, a lot of different things, but be careful and be safe.
Looks like the rotation is now north of Deweyville, going into parts of southwest Louisiana. You can see there's that little area right there north of Deweyville. See if we can put me back up on the screen there, Mitchell. And right in here, that's where the rotation is, moving over into parts of southwest Louisiana. So it looks like that rotation is now north and east of Deweyville, continues to move off towards the north and east. So it looks like most of that is now moved out of southeast Texas and continues to move into southwest Louisiana. If you live just northeast of Deweyville, you need to be taking cover. Still some rotation here, still could drop a tornado like we've been seeing with this particular storm as it moves up into Calcasieu, maybe Beauregard Parish here over the next hour or so. But good news is it looks like it's past Deweyville and continues to move off towards the north and east, away from the area. Once again, now we still have to get through this line of rain and thunderstorms before we can clear things out. And it looks like this is going to be coming through here between now and lunchtime. And then once the main line goes through, we still have to deal with some lighter rain, some range probably through maybe early part of the afternoon before we can finally dry it out. But definitely been a busy morning out there. You can see all the lightning associated with that one particular thunderstorm cell that's been producing the tornado. Definitely sticks out like a sore thumb compared to the lightning we're seeing along this line, which is not a lot. I think with this line moving through, we'll see some heavy rain, a little bit of lightning. But as far as the severe weather threat, it looks like it's diminishing now as this starts to push into the area. But we're going to be watching it closely. Like I said, now through, say, lunchtime, 1 o'clock, we'll be tracking this line as it comes through the area and produces some heavy rain and hopefully no more severe weather warnings.
No doubt at all. You know, I guess in the good news is after this is done today, it's actually very nice weather the rest of the week and the weekend. We got to get through this. We got to get through this morning here.
Yeah, exactly. Once we get through this particular morning, we'll be okay. Let me see here. Just looking at different things from the National Weather Service, and as far as tornado reports, 4 miles west of Bridge City, they had a report of a tornado. Probably the same stuff we've been seeing as far as. I'm sorry, I'm just reading stuff from the National Weather Service now has canceled the warning for Newton County. So Newton County is no longer under tornado warning.
That's great news there.
Yeah, great news there. Like I showed you on radar there, it has moved north and east of the Deweyville area. So that rotation is out of Deweyville. If you live in Deweyville and you can hear us in your, say, an interior room, you can come out of there now. Things are clear for the Deweyville area as that storm is now moved off towards the north and east. Even though it's still raining pretty hard in Deweyville, the rotation with that particular thunderstorm is now moved over into parts of northern Calcasieu Parish right now.
Let me see if I can get a updated power outage by county. Jefferson County, over 1,400 people without power right now. Chambers County, over 1,400. Orange County, over 4,300 without power right now. Of course, you saw that tornado that was over Highway 62 by Deweyville in Mauriceville area. But yeah, 4,300 right now in Orange County without power.
And now, like I said, we just have to wait for this secondary line to come through. As it comes through, it is going to produce a heavy rain, maybe not a ton of lightning, but just as any squall line with thunderstorms that you see move through an area, it's going to kick up the winds. And we're looking at possibility of some wind gusts with this line, 25 to maybe about 35 miles per hour as it pushes through. Probably seeing that already up towards Woodville and down through Hardin County, and just getting ready to come into, looks like sections of Jefferson County, real close to Winnie now. You're probably getting some gusty winds as this moves through. So once we get this through, which like I said, will be over the next couple of hours, and then we'll deal with a little bit of lighter rains on the backside of this before we finally clear it out later on this afternoon into this evening. Luckily, that tornado warning is now pushed off towards the east of Deweyville, so they don't have to deal with it anymore. But if you live, say, in Starks, you need to be taking cover. If you're watching us in Starks, definitely be taking cover as this storm is heading in your direction, right down 12 there into Louisiana. Once again, still have some heavy rain between, say, Lumberton and Beaumont, and then we have the line itself, which is going to be moving through here over the next couple of hours. Still going to produce a lot of heavy rain. If you don't have to be out and about this morning, I would just stay in and let this stuff go by. After lunch, maybe run to the store, do whatever you got to do. By the time the kids get out of school, things should be dying down as far as the rain. And if you're at work and don't plan on getting out until 5 o'clock, going home, everything should be done by then. The rain should be moving out by then. But this morning, still have some heavy rain once again to get through before we finally start to see things quiet down.
Yeah, and of course, speaking of school, it's been kind of a wild morning for several school districts around the area. We saw Nederland and Vidor ISD kind of put a shelter in place this morning. Earlier, Orangeville ISD put a shelter in place for about 15 minutes before resuming back to normal due to the severe weather. So it's kind of been a whirlwind. It's been a wild morning for everybody here in Southeast Texas.
Yeah, luckily,
Southwest Louisiana.
yeah, and this is some of the video of just
So
unbelievable video.
So this is new video right here, Jeff, from Highway 62 and I-10.
Wow.
Jacob Howell next to the Flying J. Look at that video right there. Highway 62 and I-10.
Yeah.
And
tornado on the ground. I think probably some of the there's more. Yeah, I think some of the worst video I've seen is from David Ingram that we had that video.
Right there.
That was very violent. It showed it was very violent. You can see there the tornado is very violent. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Power flashes, transformers blowing up.
Blowing up.
Yeah.
I remember seeing that when I reported during Hurricane Ike. I saw a lot of transformers kind of blown up like there. But we've seen, then that was headed towards Deweyville at that time, correct?
Yeah. That was headed up into parts of southern Jasper and Newton County at that point. So luckily, we haven't heard too many injury reports or anything like that.
No, that's the good news. That is the good news. The only thing we have seen was in Port Arthur, there was a guard shack that did flip with a guard in there.
Yeah.
Thankfully, she was okay. She was brought out on a stretcher, but thankfully she was okay. That's the main thing.
Yeah. And good news is right now we have no more warnings right now across Southeast Texas. We still have a tornado watch that goes to 4 o'clock, but I'm not expecting us to be in the tornado watch till 4 o'clock. They'll drop it for us before then, once this line of thunderstorms that we have to our west moves through. But you can see the watch includes all of Southeast Texas right now. That one tornado warning is now into parts of Beauregard Parish, northern parts of Calcasieu Parish, and then we have a little bit of a thunderstorm warning down towards, say, the Winnie area But that is just a general thunderstorm warning, not a tornado warning. And we'll flip